And McGuinness, he walked into this shop. So I walked in. Had there been operators, they'd have killed half of them people and got away. But they were admin guys, and they'd taken the wrong turn at a funeral.
When they got shot, the wound wouldn't get infected with cloth.
He was stripped and put in a room and taken away and returned to unit. But he was a SBS. And even the name, Secret Intelligence Unit, was top secret. No one was allowed to say the name of it. No one we knew where we were. We weren't allowed to phone or write unless it was all censored. They took it very seriously. And we did the SAS selection to start with. I believe we did, and talked to friends since we did. And then you were taken to a little camp where you learned all the recognition and observation post skills. And it was about 5 months. And, one lad, he used to go back into your room and beds would be empty. And all you waiting for was a tap on the shoulder, which meant you're finished.
What sort of tasks could you expect to do?
It was mainly surveillance, unless it turned into a conflict, and then you know exactly what happens then. But we would house people. We had a code book with all the terrorists and code names. Now, Trout 1 was Jerry Adams. Alpha 11 was Martin McGuinness, and he was in charge of Derry. And he was the main man. I mean, there's lots of things in the book, but the one that frightens me the most, or two actually, one was to find an IED, an improvised explosive device, which had been hidden under the flyway in Derry, a flyover. And they were being used to put into shops in Belfast, incendiary, on a timer. When people had gone home, up they went. So I had to find it. So I found it after a bit of looking. I put it in my pocket, took it to a little car park about half a mile away, opened the boot, opened it, and took photographs of it, because each one is wired to a certain person. It's like a signature, and then put it back. And when I think of it now, I could have my balls blown off. I was all bravado. Now, this is where I followed McGuinness into a shop. Because you get all cocky, don't you? At the end of your tour, nothing can touch me. My mate had been killed. I survived. So I'm doing a foot follow through Derry. And McGuinness, he walked into this shop. So I walked in. And he wasn't there. The shop was just like a front room of a house. So I picked up a packet of chewing gum, 220, grunted. And I turned around, McGuinness in a little alcove on the phone. He said, "Gotcha." Yeah, that's when you know adrenaline's brown. And I ran. Going black. And I got picked up when we went. Yeah, that was a scary moment, that one.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, bless him. What happened was that there were two terrorists that were living underground, but they came out at night. They positioned the OP to cover this area, and they saw the two figures coming. And you've got to bear in mind that the army are told to keep out, so that it's not going to be army, but they've got camouflage suits on and rifles. Now, I personally would have just shot him. Quite simple. Unfortunately, the guy with Jay, and I won't mention his name because he was a call he made, actually followed the yellow book. I said, halt, halt, and on the second halt, they sprayed him with rounds. And as he went down, he sprayed Francis Hughes, who caught him all in the legs. But he made a call, you know, whether right or wrong, it's his call. I was an authorised call. So anyway, we found Francis Hughes in the bushes, and I've got a sort of rose gallery of this. And he died on hunger strike. Tony Diamond got away and was never caught. Jay, unfortunately, they both had the same injuries. The bullets had gone through their stomach, but Jay's had gone through his pistol and taken a lot out. So I literally sat with him as he died in the hospital. Because I was on control. Because you have one operator doing the radio to call people in if the shit hits the fan, and the two operators. And unfortunately, he died, bless him. We were told there's an arms stash in the school, in the loft. So we did a recce. We came back, got MI6 involved because we were going to bug it. But we did that, and as we were going back to check, what we found, we found a bunch of old shotguns in the loft and a suitcase. The suitcase was full of documents signed by McGuinness, and they were virtually death warrants. Those documents came back with us. MI6 photographed one of the steps of the ladder and the stock of one of the rifles. And we went back out, photographed all the documents, sent it to London, and heard nothing. So we went back in, but on the way in, we were like silhouetted. And to get through the window of the school, we had to have this homemade appliance, which looked a little bit like a machine gun. So little lackeys carrying this, and all we heard was this halt. Now, fucking luckily, it was a Yorkshire accent. Where we operated, the army in that area were told, do not go in there. The boys are operating, which we were the boys. This bloke obviously thought boyos, which is the IRA. So he decided to put up an ambush on us. And the MI6 bloke went for his pistol. And luckily, he fucking left it in the camp. He left it there. So we got through that. We had to go back. We had to pull out for a few months. But went back in with MI6 and he brought these two things that are fantastic. And they was completely bugged from then on. So we had the transcripts of the IRA and the movement of the weapons. And they actually got the movement on the tilt switch for stock. So yeah, we got a few good wins. The bloke that made the IED we caught, and that was from housing him to staking him out. Was my first OP. About 7 days eating crackers and cold sausages, no hot drinks, nothing. Yeah, we housed him, tracked him, associates, to a building site where was a porter cabin, and that was the bomb factory. He got 12 years.